Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a fun project which is setting up our own personal cloud storage server, and one I've been looking forward to showing you guys since we started this series on the Raspberry Pi. I'm a huge privacy advocate, and for the longest time I've been fighting a losing battle, and to this day I'm still fighting a losing battle. But I believe it's important for us all to take our data back into our own hands as much as we can. As someone who's worked and consulted for a few very large software companies, one being a major bank and another dealing directly with criminal records, I can tell you firsthand that while the security practices may seem legit to the front end user, on the back end, they most definitely are not. And now with the emergence of AI everywhere we look, I have no doubt that these companies are going to use it to analyze as much of our data as they can about us. So today I'm going to show you how to set up Nextcloud, an amazing open source cloud storage solution that lets you store files, host calendars, contacts, and more. We've been laying the groundwork in our past few videos to make the process of setting this up quick and easy. All we have to do is configure our Docker Compose file, run it, and hopefully it'll have you up and running in less than 5 minutes time. So let's get started. Okay, so let's head over to our browser, and just like in our last video, we're going to head over to Dockerhub. So we're going to enter hub.docker.com. Once that page loads, we're going to enter the search bar here, and we're going to type in Nextcloud, which is our cloud server image. And it should be the first image that pops up here. It's a Docker official image, and it's got over 1 billion pulls. So we're going to click on this one. And just like before, the description here in this overview is too long, so it's been truncated. So we're going to go to see the full description found here at GitHub at this link. Once that loads, if we scroll to about halfway down the page, there'll be a section under Docker Compose. Right here it is, running this image with Docker Compose, and we're looking for the base version Apache. So the code block found here is what we're going to copy. So if you click this icon in the top right corner of the code block, it'll copy it. And now we're going to head over to our Raspberry Pi desktop. So once we're on our Raspberry Pi desktop, we're going to go into our folders here. We're going to go into Documents, and here's our Docker folder that we created for all of our projects. We'll enter that. This is our WireGuard VPN project we set up last time, and right next to it, we're going to create a new folder for Nextcloud. Create that, and once it's created, we're going to go into it. And inside here, I'm going to create a new file just like before called compose.yml. This is our YAML file for Docker Compose. And then I'm going to open that with the Genie Programmer's Editor. And in here, I'm going to paste the code block that we just copied. All right, so just to keep things simple, we're going to get rid of the volume information up here at the top, move this up, and we're going to define it right here for our database and right here for our Nextcloud app. So if we go back to our Nextcloud folder where our Compose is, we're going to copy this whole address up here at the top. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back in here to our volumes, and right before DB, I'm going to click here. I'm going to paste it, and then make sure you enter the slash between Nextcloud and DB here. So I'll enter that here, and then go down to your volumes for your app and do the same thing for Nextcloud. So right before Nextcloud, I'm going to paste, and then make sure you enter the slash here as well. And this is going to create a Nextcloud folder and a database folder within our Nextcloud folder here. And that's all there is to it, to mapping our volumes. And now we have to enter the passwords. The main difference between root password and password is the root password is for your super user account for your database. And that essentially, that account has full access and full privileges to make changes to your database. So it's generally a normal practice to create another user account with the password that you can set privileges for. So for the sake of keeping things super simple, easy to read, and easy to follow, I'm just going to type root password here for the root password. And for the user password, I'm going to type user password. Now, obviously, don't do this. This is terrible practice in terms of security. So make sure you create something secure here and something secure here and put it somewhere you'll remember it so that you don't forget it. MySQL password here for the user password is going to be the exact same right here for your environment variables for your app. It's just letting your app know how to log into your database using the user account that's created for the database. Once that's completed, we're actually ready to save and run this compose file. However, before we do that, I would recommend adding container name variables just to keep everything nice and tidy once you get a bunch of these containers running. So for this one, we'll call it what it is, MariahDB. And for the Nextcloud, we'll call it Nextcloud. Once we're done with that, we'll hit save. And then I'll head up here to the terminal, and we're going to change directories into our Nextcloud folder that we just created. So Documents, Docker, Nextcloud. And then once I'm in here, I'm going to type ls just to make sure we can see our compose file. So we're where we need to be. So from here, I'm going to type docker compose up-d. And before I run this, I'm just going to pull this over to the side a little bit, and I'm going to open our folder here just so you guys can see it map the folders from the container once it's done. So I'll go back to our terminal, and I'm going to hit enter. And this might take just a minute. These images are quite big, but once they're done, it'll map the folders here, and then we'll be ready to go. And there we go. Our containers are now running and our cloud server is now active. All we have left to do is create an account and we'll be done. So all we need is our IP address. So if we head up here, we'll grab the IP address of your Wi-Fi network, which in my case is 192.168.1.222. All the others are the Docker virtual connections. So if we take that and go to our browser, and then I'll open a new tab, and then I'm going to enter the IP address of a Raspberry Pi that we just found, and I'm going to follow that up by colon and then the port number we specified in our compose file, which is 8080. And then I'm going to hit enter. This is the Nextcloud setup page. This is where we'll create our account. But before we do that, right here at the storage and database, just verify that all of these were populated with what you entered in your compose file. If that's correct, all you have to do now is sign up. So you'll enter a username and then you'll enter a password that works for you. And now we click install. All of these are optional apps you can install in addition to your file storage. However, since this video is strictly about the file storage part, for now we're just going to skip this. And here we are at our Nextcloud dashboard. Congratulations, guys. You now have your own cloud storage solution. Pretty cool, right? And that only took about 5 minutes from start to finish. And that's the power of Docker. Now, if you allow me, I'll show you around Nextcloud a little bit and how to set it up on your phone as well. If you go up here to the top left corner, you'll see right here's your dashboard and here's your files. So let's click on files. All right, so once we arrive at the files page here, you can see we've got 6 files and 3 folders. All of this is just templates and stuff that come with the image, just to give you an example of how things work. As you can see here, there's a manual if you're interested in that. I'm going to get rid of these files, just show you guys real quick how to delete things. If we select these 6 files and click these 3 dots right here, you can click delete files, and that's how you get rid of stuff. So now we've got 3 folders here structured. We got a documents folder, photos folder, and a templates folder. So if we head into the documents folder here, I'll drag a solar guidebook from my solar project a few videos ago. And as you can see here, we can just drag and drop it, and then it will upload it here. And here it is. And you can even view it from within your browser. Pretty cool stuff. So I'm going to exit out of this up here, and I'm going to show you guys how to set this up on your phone now. All right, so on your phone, once you've downloaded the Nextcloud app onto your device, we'll open it up. We're going to click Login, and here for the server address, we're going to enter the IP address of a Raspberry Pi. So we're going to type http:// and then the IP address 192.168.1.222, and then we're going to hit :8080, the same port as before specified in our compose file. So we'll hit check. And now it's asking us to log into the profile we created. So just like before, I'll enter my username, which was Luke, and then you'll enter the password you created for yours, and then I'll hit login. And then here you'll just grant access to that account, and now you're connected. As you can see, these are the same 3 folders I left when we were on our browser. If I go into the documents folder here, you can even see the solar guidebook that we added earlier. And again, you can click on it here on your phone and it will download it, and you can view it straight from your phone. And that's it, guys. You've successfully set up Nextcloud on your Raspberry Pi using Docker. You can now start uploading files and even installing additional apps to use on your private cloud. This ties in nicely to our last video where we set up our own VPN server, because now, even when you're away from home, you can just activate your VPN server, which will create a tunnel straight to your home network. And then, essentially, you'll have access to your cloud from anywhere in the world. How cool is that? If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. If you have any questions or run into any issues at all, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to help you out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.